Itaola. Today my guest is Supta. If you listen to YFM, then you'll be familiar with this jingle. It goes like, "It's Supta," and that's my man. That's who we're talking to today. Supta just released a dope song called Amajuba with the talented Aymos. So yeah, can't wait to chat to Supta today about his latest release. It's not going to be like a long interview. I'll just be chatting to him about his new release. Supta is a DJ from the Free State. And yeah, man, he's doing amazing stuff. He's got a show on YFM. I think it plays every day. And he also has like a weekend show on YFM. Hey, Venice, how are you? I hope you're good, Venice. I hope I'm saying your name right. Venice. Shout out to Benito. I see you. I'm good, bro. How are you? Mario, my brother, I see you as well. Shout out. Welcome to my show with Supta. It's a catch up. It's not a long interview. We're just catching up. Yo, bro,
what up?
Hey, man, I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Can't complain.
Can't complain, man. I see you are keeping positive spirits. You are going to gym. The world is falling apart. When you're out here.
Look, man, for my own sanity, especially with everything that's happening in the country, you just want to sometimes find that escape, and look, there's so many mental health issues that come up with all this information that is all over the media, and our reality now. So gym has become that place, for me, where I kind of like switch off and work on my body goals at the same time,
Yeah, no, I see you coming for that GQ cover.
Boy, it's like
Yeah, man, shout out, bro. Anyway, I just thought I should just have a catch up with you.
Yeah.
I haven't spoken to you in like a couple of months. So I just thought that I should talk to you because you just dropped a new single on Friday,
Sure.
This past Friday. For those that don't know, tell us about your single, bro.
So yeah, I dropped my brand new single called Amajuba, featuring Aymos, and I'm also featuring a young, up and coming talented producer who's from the Free State. My single with Aymos has been long time coming. Like we've been planning to jump in studio and work for some time. And, eventually earlier on this year, we eventually, jumped into studio, and that's how Amajuba, came about. It's a beautiful song, that speaks of heartbreak, but that also speaks of love, because it's sort of like a song that speaks to people who, a couple that was in love, and then just like Amajuba, and they're so committed and building this life thing together, and then one thing happens, and a lot, and how relationships go, and kwavele kwaphela nje, and I mean, so many of us can relate to that story where you are sharing so much of yourself with someone. You were happy with this person, and you honestly thought that it's going to be a forever love story with that individual. And then umjolo, the pandemic, things happen, and then you break up, and it's just reminiscing on the good times that you had with that individual, or that person that you so dearly loved. It's a beautiful song, of that connection.
Yeah, I was surprised to hear Aymos, jumping on a Afro type of house, because we all know him as I'm a piano guy. So I thought that was like an interesting feature.
Yeah.
By the way, before we go back to the music, congratulations on your new show on YFM.
Sure.
Yeah. For those that don't know, can you just tell them about your new show, bro?
The show is called The A-List, on Monday to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 12 midday. It's a completely brand new show. It's a completely brand new space for me. As you know, a lot of people know that I was, I still am on the plug, Fridays and Saturdays, but now I'm also doing, the A-List from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And I'm working with, Tepi. She is an amazing, amazing individual. And I'm so blessed to be working with her, because more than anything, we are friends off air. And I guess it also just, comes out on the radio that the chemistry and the connection that we have off air is just brought onto the show on the radio. So I'm excited. It's been about 4 months, because we started in April, if I'm not mistaken, 3 or 4 months. And it's going well, man. It's going well.
Yeah, I know, man. I just had to put it out there because, I haven't interviewed you about that. So
Yeah.
it had to be out there. So yeah, man, new single out, Amajuba. It came out on Friday. Look, Shimza tweeted the other day that, Afro House cats need to hustle, and push hard to keep the genre alive. It looks like the genre is in trouble. What's going on there?
Look, man, the reality is that Amapiano is doing the most right now. But I don't think that the genre is in trouble. I think there is a market for Afro House, Afro tech, commercial house. In fact, I feel that any genre outside of Mapiano, there is a space and a market for it. But obviously, at the moment now, you find that Amapiano is what's trending. The movement is what's trending, and I believe that can be, because of the culture that has come with Amapiano, and also the unity amongst the guys. I think the ecosystem of Amapiano is really an open ecosystem that allows anyone and everyone. If you are talented, if you've got the drive, you can exploit the space and become what you want to become. And guys like your Maporisa, that have been in the industry, your major league DJs have really opened up to so many new names in the Amapiano space compared to what is happening in the culture of Afro House. The culture of these other genres, deep house, Afro House, gospel, you name it, where you really need to build your credibility. You have to be a Supta of YFM, or you have to be a Shimza of so-and-so, in order for people to sort of like take you seriously in the music that you release. You have to be a Black Coffee, or a Takapo. But in Amapiano, it's more of, okay, here's a young boy who's producing in his back room in Alexandra, and he's producing smash hits. Maporisa works with that boy, doesn't ask Uguti Mfana, how many followers do you have, or doesn't look at his brand status. He doesn't look at what can I get out of this collaboration, but it's more of the music. And I think it's going to be very important for us, in other genres, you know, Afro House to stop that that mentality or that mind frame of thinking Uguti, you know, you need to build your credibility. If you are talented, I think it's important that we give each other, you know, the opportunity so that we can grow the culture, so that the culture can be, you know, can be broader. Amapiano is broader now. I mean, there are guys that we didn't know about. We didn't know about Mpura Mpura 5 years ago. I mean, at least I didn't know about him. I didn't know about Reese Madlisa 5 years ago. Lady Do, you know, but she's doing the most right now in an ecosystem, in a space that has opened up for them to be able to exploit it, regardless of who they are. And what I like now about Amapiano, it's exposing that about other genres. It really is exposing that. So in the Afro House space, if you see it with my song now, Amajuba, I've literally collaborated with Peekay Mzee, who's unknown, but I know that he's a talented producer. And instead of co-producing a song with him and saying, no, boy, ish, having your name on my song is not really gonna give me the marketable impact that I'm looking for. It's not gonna get me a performance on Live Amp. It's not gonna get me the recognition from the media. So let's just make you a ghost producer, you know? You know, when we've both produced the song, and which I think that it's also very viable for him to be featured on the song and be present, you know? We need to start having a culture like that, a culture of an open ecosystem, a culture of broadening the culture of Afro House and Afro Tech, and stop this thing of exclusives and lack of collaborations. I mean, typical example right now, I dropped Amajuba, which I mean is a beautiful song, right? And you go on Twitter and you tag guys that you know are in the, you know, Afro space, that are in the Afro tech space, and you're like, yo, man, check out my song. You know, all you want is a retweet for them to help you get your song to that market. But you know what they do? Because everyone now is in a space where I want to be the only one who is known in the Afro House space or Afro tech space, so that I can be the guy that gets the booking in a lineup that is filled with Amapiano. You get it? So it's that thing. Let me build my name as Supta. Ndivalele wonke omnye umntu in the Afro House space, so that if there's a lineup or a festival that is filled with Amapiano artists, Amapiano DJs, if they consider or even think about an Afro House, Afro Tech DJ, they are able to say, okay, no, Supta is the right guy. We can put him there. So that no confusion. So you are the one that's top of mind, and yet we're not building the culture. We're not supporting each other. You know, we are but don't retweet. They listen to your song. They can hear that it's dope, but they don't retweet. They don't help you push your song. It's more about that individualistic perspective of the Afro House culture. Push you Sabta, but I'm not pushing the music. I'm not pushing the culture. Oma Porisa, when he hears, I mean, we've seen him do it, where he finds guys that just post a video of themselves, you know, freestyling on an Amapiano beat. He retweets, he finds the guy. It grows the culture. It grows that guy. It opens up that guy to a different market. It opens up that guy to different artists as well, that he can also, you know, more than anything, more than it just putting food on the table for him, it's growing the culture. So I think that's where we are lacking. We're not putting each other on. And I have to say, radio stations are also, you know, at the forefront of this, where you'll find Uguti in a 3-hour show, it's just Amapiano. If they consider house music, they consider house Amapiano, which is also killing other genres, you know. But yeah, that's just my opinion with that. I think with Afro House, Afro Tech, and I mean, I don't just want to speak about Afro House and Afro Tech, any other genre as well, you know, that is not trending like piano. Excuse me. I think it's important that we open up the ecosystem and learn from Amapiano in what they're doing in in plugging in talented guys who might have 100 followers, you know, on social media, but are just so talented. And let's expose them. Let's collaborate with them, you know. Yeah, that's just my 2 cents.
No, man, like, you know, I love that response because it speaks to the challenges that you know the Afro tech, Afro house, and even deep house you know scene is experiencing at the moment.
Yeah,
And my thing also, you know, it's about, but I think we touched on it, you know, during the last interview about the whole exclusivity, you know, of people not wanting to release music and the, you know, but I've realized something, right? That actually, no, I didn't realize this. I was talking to Nota and he asked me a question. He's like, yo, let's be honest. He's like, are Afrotech DJs really creating music for South Africa, or are they creating music for Spain and Europe and whatever?
yeah,
And, you know, I was like, damn, that's a good question. And he was saying that the problem that he has, because we're debating on this issue, is that, you know, it doesn't help if you're South African, but you are not producing for, you are, you know, the intent is not to produce for South Africans or for Africans. The intent is to go to Ibiza, you know, and he was like, that's a problem. So,
yeah.
what are your thoughts on that?
I think he's right to a certain extent. And like I say, I'll give credit to Amapiano because it has really exposed such things about these, you know, Afrotech. Is that there is a market for Afrotech in South Africa. I'm not going to take that, you know, away from the South African market. But are we really making music for the South African market? And the answer to that is no. You know, for the
Mm,
broader market, no, we're not. You know, it goes back to you are producing music for yourself and for your market that you know exists, which is the Afrotech market. And again, it goes back to opening up the culture, opening up the you know, the ecosystem of Afrotech, Afro House to other guys. There are guys out there that are producing for South African market. There are guys out there that are creative in the way that they make Afrotech and Afro House, which I think can then get into the mainstream, you know, space in South Africa. So I think Nota is right, man, and I fully agree with him. And Amapiano has really exposed that.
mm. I was listening to Citizen Deep's album, and he's got a song there where he's experimenting with Afro House and Amapiano, and I was like, okay, well, he has got like the lock drum yana there. I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah,
So, you know, I think maybe in the near future we might hear a sound that's like, you know, a mix of Amapiano and a mix of tech,
yeah.
you know. And I can't wait for that sound to kind of like, you know, blow up. But anyway, coming back to you, bro, you know. So yeah, you know, you
So
released a
sorry,
single
before you
also.
move on, speaking about that sound, in fact, I've also experimented in producing, you know, that type of sound. Because honestly
Hmm.
speaking, I'm an Afro House, Afro Tech guy, and it flows in my blood. You know, that's just who I am, and it's my energy, right? and
Mm,
and I believe as an artist, you whenever you play, whenever you release music, you sort of sharing, and you're giving people a reflection of your energy. You are sharing your energy with people because there's someone
mm,
out there who's listening to Amajuba right now and is feeling my energy at the time, or perhaps maybe they could be feeling a different type of energy. So
mm,
to not move away from my energy, but also speak to, you know, the market, speak to the mainstream market. I've also, you know, just started playing around with different elements of Amapiano, different elements of Afrotech, and infusing them. We'll see how it goes. And
mm,
I think the Afro house space is really strict on the musical side of things. You'll find Kuti, there's a lot of guys who focus a lot on the musicality of a song instead of what the song makes people feel like, you know, or the vibe of the song. You know, we are so focused on chords, we are so focused on keys. No, you can't be rapping on an Afrotech beat. That's not how it should be. You know, who put those laws down? Amapiano came and they just like, yo, man, rap. If it's dope, do
Yeah.
it. You know, just go in with the flow, and people are loving that. The South African market is loving that. So yeah, now I've really started just playing around with those in studio.
Yo, man, you know, you must release that stuff. You wanna hear it, bro. You wanna
Yeah,
hear it. But I think the tempo, I see a lot of guys are taking down the tempo, you know.
yeah,
Just you know, by guys I mean the Afrotech guys. It's no longer 123, you know, it's like 119, you know, 118 maybe. Do you think that, I don't know, do you think that will work here? You know, with the slow tempo? What do you think about that? Because I feel like is because Amapiano is like 114
yeah.
BPM. The pressure is to now make the songs a bit slower. I don't know how I feel about it. How do you feel about that?
Flip, you're speaking to someone who just released a song of 125 BPM, and you're asking me about that.
I don't know how fast it is. It doesn't sound fast. It doesn't sound like it has a high BPM though. Right?
Look, it's the way that you know, we produced it that it doesn't really sound like it's fast, but it's 125. But to answer your
Whoa.
question, yeah, to answer your question, I see a lot of Afrotech, Afro house producers are doing that. You're right. The music is, I mean, Cairo was one of the guys who started that in his album. You'll find that he's got songs 117, 118 BPM, you know, and I think that is a strategy of the Afrotech guys to sort of like infuse Afrotech into Amapiano, because as a DJ, when you get into it, when you get to a club and you are starting at 123, whereas the journalist DJ was at 115 or 113. You need to you need to slowly wait for that song to end, and then you start your 123, because taking down an Afrotech song all the way to 114 is
Yeah.
a difficult ask. And I think the gents want to make the transition from Amapiano to Afrotech seamlessly. And you see, that's the thing. I think that we are trying all of these ways to infuse our sound into Amapiano, and I think we are losing the gist of why we are losing the market. It's not really about the pace of the song. It's just about making music for the market. How is the market feeling that we are part of the culture? We are relating to the culture. The culture speaks to my problems. The culture speaks to my achievements. The culture speaks to my fantasies, right? You know, how Amapiano is doing that. You know, you'll find a song for each and every a mood, Amapiano, where it speaks to love, where it speaks to. Is Afrotech really, you know, in that space where it's speaking to people and giving them the vibe, the energy that they want? There's very few songs that you'll find that are doing that. But like I said, we really need to see how we can open up the Afrotech, Afro house culture, and make music for people. You know, make music that relates, that is personal. And here's another thing: there's still a big market for Afro house and Afrotech. Gqom, even there's still a market for that. In fact, if you don't just focus on Gauteng, you realize that your Eastern Capes, your Western Capes, and your Mpumalangas, there's many other provinces that still love Gqom, that still love Afro House. I mean, where I'm from, in Elwell North, I was surprised. Last year I was there, and Amapiano was the opening act.
Mm.
You know, like how deep house DJs are the ones that are playing for waiting for people to get drunk. You know, whilst
Yeah.
people are just getting into it.
Yeah.
Amapiano was that sound, and then Afro House, Afro Tech was then the sound where is being played at its peak, and then Gqom is like, yo, chief, and people were going crazy. So we also need to be careful that we don't judge the space based on Gauteng, and I understand that, you know, Gauteng is the entertainment hub of in South Africa, but there is a market out there, and producing music and making music shouldn't be just confined to just thinking, okay, just because Amapiano Egautini is getting the recognition, that there's no space for other genres in South Africa.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, man. You know, I know Eastern Cape, they still mess with Gqom, man. A lot. You know, that's what they play there. So you're absolutely right. And I think there's a market for all these genres, in my opinion. I think what we must focus on is just making sure that, you know, we give everybody a chance, and so that we become the biggest export of house music. So yeah, man. Lastly, bro, you know, what are your plans musically?
Look, just right now, I've dropped obviously Amajuba. It's available on all digital platforms. I'm excited about the song. You know, it is a different sound to it's Afro House, Afro Tech, different to Amapiano, but I'm loving the reception. And for me, I challenge myself with this song to see how, you know, organically people can accept the song and vibe to the song, because I feel like sometimes we force music, you know. Yes, you'll have influencers, you'll have um, social media influencers who start playing the song and so forth. But I'm loving the organic reception of the song, where people are relating to the song. And some people are actually saying that for them, this one is better than Kukuletu, you know, which is a big one for me. But hey, that's people's opinion. Someone else might say, no, Chief, Kukuletu is a classic. But for me, I mean, right now, I don't make music to compete with other songs that I've released. I'm just making music that speaks to people, that speaks to me. And musically, I'm, you know, currently working on an album. I guess it's been a long time coming. You know, my debut album that's going to be out pretty soon. I'm excited. I've just signed to Universal Music, so you know, that's I'm looking forward to that relationship and how fruitful it's going to become for me. But yeah, man, it's just, you know, making music, releasing music, opening up the culture, you know, opening up the ecosystem. I mean, I've got a show, The Plug, on YFM, and I still, you know, push Afro House, Afro Tech on The Plug. You know, the show is still open for young up and coming Afro House, Afro Tech artists. You know, if you look at the station in itself, you've got Monday, you've got an Amapiano DJ on YTKO. On Friday, you've got Candy, who plays Amapiano, and then, you know, transitions to Afro House. But there's still space for Afrotech, and I think it's very important that us people who have access, who are on radio platforms, we still open up that space so that this genre doesn't die out. The culture of the genre still lives on, you know. So my show, you know, 70%, 80% of my show on Y is Afrotech. I play Afrotech, Afro House on the show every Fridays at 8 p.m. And I predominantly play Afro House, Afro Tech, from upcoming, producers that find me on social media, send me their music, and I think it's there where I'm still, fighting for the genre, because I hear these young guys that are coming up that are producing smash songs, bangers of music, that are just hungry and just want a platform. And some of them appreciate the fact that Supta is playing their music. Even that mentality, is flawed if you think about it. That if Supta is playing your song, then it means that it's a big deal for them. It simply just means that there's still the factor of who is playing your song within the culture.
Sure.
The credibility of the person who's playing your. If it's being played by Supta, then it is a good song, and that's not necessarily the case. And that's where that mentality needs to change and needs to switch, because it is flawed. We need to open up, get the guys to play music, get the guys to have spaces, where their music can be played. So I'm fortunate enough to be one of those people to have access to be in a space like YFM and play Afro House and play Afro Tech on the plug. And I think it's very important that we've got spaces like that. And I have to urge other guys in the space. Some guys are talking now about Afro Tech and, hey, what's going on with the genre, because their pockets are starting to be affected now. But in all honesty, if their pockets were not being affected, they wouldn't care. They wouldn't talk about opening up, collaborating, the genre, what's going on with the genre. They wouldn't care. It's because now you find that there are lineups that are full on Amapiano. Now guys are being affected, because now it's no longer DJ Maphorisa, Kabza the Small, Supta, and then Melo and Sleazy, DJ Somebody, Demtuda. It's no longer that. It's literally a DJ Maphorisa, Kabza the Small, DJ Somebody, Demtuda, Setril, what. No Afro Tech, no Afro House DJ. And you can tell that if you can preempt, you can see that there are spaces that are happy with those type of lineups, and promoters are happy with that because their places are being filled up. So I really hope that we can start opening up the Afro House culture, the Afro Tech culture, the commercial house, gospel, but whatever culture it is, that it's no longer about the individual. It's no longer about Supta. It's more about the culture. How does it relate to the people? How do the people connect to the music that you are releasing? And it's not about you have to know it to understand it. Amapiano is not about that. You don't have to know it to understand it. Shit, man. It's nice. I play it. With us, you need to understand, it's a build-up. Yo, mfana, mamela le element. To a teacher, to a nurse, to the average layman, they don't care about that. They've got other problems that they're focusing on. Give them music that will entertain them. Give them music that will speak to their problems. Give them music that will speak to their achievements. Give them music that will make them escape, or give them music that will, propel them to become better individuals. And that's the type of music we need to start, releasing. So I'm at the forefront of that, and I believe in that. And like I said, I can talk the whole day about this Afro House, Afro Tech culture, because it hits deep, And I think the most sad part about Afro House, Afro culture is that we guys are not supporting each other. Guys are not supporting each other. I mean, you look at my boy Prince KB, he dropped an album quite recently, which is far off Amapiano. And you can tell Luguti, it's not there where he wants it to be, But think about a time when Prince KB collaborated with Black Motion and Shimza and Amifaku, how Urongo was all over, because it's three guys who are in who are in the same genre, who are pushing the same culture, and are doing good music. Now, Black Motion is doing their own thing. Supta is doing his own thing. Prince KB is doing his own thing. Shimza is doing his own thing, and the culture is spread. I mean, it's stretched thin, you know. There's no unity whatsoever. Amapiano speaks to unity. Amapiano speaks to culture. Amapiano speaks to the vibe. Amapiano speaks to, you know, just being yourself. And guys are coming together. Like Pori right now he's got a masterpiece. There's a Buntle Smith. Like, if you can mention guys that are now present in the Amapiano space and the unity that comes with that, it's amazing. Really is amazing. Look at the song that's trending now, that's busy, that it ain't me, ta 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 peri. You know that song?
Which one is this?
It's doing well now on TikTok. People are dancing to it now.
Oh, yes.
It ain't me, pa pa pa.
Yeah, the one with the dance.
The one with the dance.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It's not Maporisa. It's not Kabza. It's not somebody. It's not them two. We don't even know who it is. You know, but that song is smashing. And guys like your major league DJs are posting videos on that song. And many other Amapiano artists are posting videos supporting that song, putting that song out there. They didn't check, hey, ngubani, hey, out here, I'm cutting, put it on, give me support. Hey, I've got 1 million followers. I will be exposing my 1 million followers to this guy. No, it's not gonna work. No, it was not about that. Here's a song. It's Amapiano. It's doing well. The culture is open. The ecosystem is open, and I think that's where we need to get to in the Afro-tech, Afro House space, where we say we're growing together. You know, we are pushing the culture. Anyone and everyone is welcome. You know, to be part of the culture. So yeah, man. Like I said, I'm 70% in the album, and we're keeping strong. You know, regardless of what some people may think, that, you know, Afro House, Afro Tech is dead, or it's struggling. You know, we keep producing, keep releasing the music, and I think it's very important that we start collaborating with a lot of young up and coming producers who are talented. We start collaborating with artists, you know, that are just fucking dope, and we make music for people. That's that.
Yeah, no, well said, Supta. You know, you are preaching, brother, and I appreciate your insights. You know, and that's why this platform is here, you know, it's for people to kind of like understand what's going on in the dance scene. And these are some of the things that we need to address, you know, so that the kids can learn, so that, you know, the culture can grow and South African music can be on the map. So I appreciate your time, bro, as usual, man. I'm looking forward to your album. Last question, do you know, can you talk about like the features on your upcoming album?
I've got obviously Aymos now. Peekay Mzee, I see he's just joined now. He's a young producer, like I said, from Free State. Very, very talented boy. I've got Zanda Zakusa on the album. I've got a song with Tapsy, you know, on the album. Lady Zama is also on the album. I've worked a lot with Afro Brothers on the album. Again, you know, young guys that are fucking talented. You know, we produced Kukulet together. So with of course Prince KB. So I've worked with such guys. I'm currently, like I said, I'm experimenting on a sound that is a fusion of Afro House with Amapiano. So I've got MFR Souls on the album. Donald is also, you know, on the album, and many others, bro. Like right now, like I said, that's about 70% of the album, you know. There's also other guys that I'm looking to collaborate with. But then again, it's like I said, it's very difficult where it's this thing of status, and I don't know you. I don't know you. So you'll send someone a beat and you're like, okay, I use a beat to Tim Nand. But it's just like, I am Gwazi wena, you know? So let me wait for you to blow up. And I'm one person who's bear witness to this, because during the peak of Guguletu, where everybody knew that, you know, Supta, Prince KB, and so forth, and it was a big song, winning awards left, right, and center. You find so many of these well-known celebrities want to work with you, right?
Oh.
And then you then find that then Amapiano is now into the space, and people are forgetting about, you know, Guguletu and so on. And now, a year, 2 years later, you're busy with your album. They're just like, ish, man, ish. Did you produce another hit after Guguletu? You know, they don't know you, you know. Yeah, I'm 70% into the album. Like I said, those are the artists that will be on the album. I'm looking forward to seeing how it's going to be accepted, and I'm just experimenting with the album, and trying by all means to work with up and coming producers, up and coming artists. For me, if you are talented, bro, like, and you know your shit, let's work. It's not about your status, because one thing that I love now about South Africa is, if the song is dope, if the song is dope, that's all that matters. Amapiano has done that for us. It's like, doesn't matter ukuthi ungubani. If the song is dope, people will love the music and will push the music organically, and that's what I appreciate now. So yeah, it's the album that's coming up next, but for now, Amajuba is available on all digital platforms. Anyone who's listening right now, who's watching this live, please get the song, and enjoy it, man.
Yo, brother, danko, man, danko. I wish you the best of luck. Please call me when you shoot the video, if you know, people, if cameos are allowed. You know, I can do a young, you know, cameo, you know what I mean?
Sure. Uti, when I'm looking for that handsome guy that's just passing by there,
You must call me, leader. I'm available.
Sure. No, definitely, man. And thank you for such platforms that you know, allow artists and DJs, producers, to be able to talk about the dance culture, to really, you know, express their thoughts, when you know, express their thoughts about the dance culture. And I think it's very important that you know, such platforms are still out there, not platforms that are just chasing after clout and chasing after trends, but platforms that are really open minded to other genres, and keeping those genres alive. So appreciate it so much, man.
Yes, sir.
Dango.
Sure,
Sure, buddy.